Taking a look now at our weather. It is a really nice Thursday afternoon, but Clay, we were talking about almost deja vu. Same thing from last week. You're looking at again Friday night over into Saturday morning.
Yeah, Latrice, I feel like last Thursday we had some really nice weather, but we were talking about the threat for storms on Friday into Saturday morning. Once again, that's exactly what we're talking about once again on this Thursday. It's going to be a really nice day. We'll have plenty of sunshine. Temperatures already climbing into the 60s, but we're going to have a strong system coming in out of the west coast. That's going to track across the northern half of the country, bringing the threat for severe weather from really the mid-south all across the southeast into the northern half of the country. So let's enjoy our Thursday. First and foremost, temperatures already in the 60s from Athens down to Dalton, 63 here in Chattanooga. Later this afternoon, back to the 70s we go. We'll have a blue sky, sunshine. Going to be a really nice Thursday to be out and about. But once again, that tree pollen count going to be quite high. Pine, hickory, oak, birch, cedar, all going to give you some issues. So you might want to take care of that before heading out the door, especially with this nice weather. But again, things are quiet across the entire southwest, or southeast and southwest too. But as we take a look at our next weather maker right now, it's kind of just sitting across the Rockies. This is going to dive in and strengthen across the northern tier of the country, bringing in a cold front. And ahead of that cold front, some pretty strong storms are going to develop as we go into your Friday and then eventually Saturday morning here in the Tennessee Valley. So let's track it all out using your futurecast. Again, throughout your Thursday, maybe some clouds, high clouds into your Friday morning. And then during the day on Friday, we're going to have a couple of showers. Now, initially, the rain that we have Friday morning into the afternoon is going to be pretty on and off, and everything's going to stay below severe limits. But we could have a few downpours rolling through, especially during the afternoon as that moisture surges ahead of our approaching cold front. But then Friday night, we're going to start to track out that main line of storms. This is what's going to give us our severe potential. So by about 2 o'clock in the morning, this is going to be approaching Middle Tennessee. And again, the timing of this may shift around, but by about 4 o'clock, it looks like that's going to be pushing into Chattanooga, Dunlap, along the Cumberland Plateau, down into northeast Alabama, and then going into the 5 o'clock hour, that moves along the I-75 corridor into our eastern communities. And then by about 7 o'clock, most of this is going to be cleared of our area, and we're going to start to clear out, and it's going to be a pretty nice Saturday. So again, very similar to what we had last week. And here's a look at your latest timing. Again, this can change a little bit between about midnight and 6 a.m. That's going to be our highest threat for severe weather here across the Tennessee Valley. And this isn't only going to affect us, it's going to affect a pretty large portion of the country. I mean, we have an enhanced risk, that orange area, for much of Illinois all the way down into the mid-south. 2 separate moderate risks. So this is where you're going to have the chance for strong, long-tracking tornadoes once again. So portions of Tennessee, West Tennessee that is, Arkansas, down into that northern corner of Mississippi. And on the northern end, closer to the low pressure center, you're going to have another threat for damaging winds and tornadoes in places like Illinois and Iowa. So this is going to affect a pretty large portion of the country. And for us here, again, we have that slight risk from Chattanooga to Dayton westbound, a marginal risk, which is that dark green area, level 1 out of 5. So as this line pushes through, again, similar to last Friday night into Saturday, it is going to weaken to a degree, but we're still going to have that potential for damaging winds, about a 15% chance within a 25-mile radius here from Pikeville down into northeast Alabama. Lower threat the further east you go, and not really going to be a high tornado threat, but it's not going to be zero. About a 2% chance within a 25-mile radius from Chattanooga and points westward. So again, an isolated tornado threat certainly will be there, but the highest risk will be damaging winds once again for the Tennessee Valley. So it's just going to be a good rule of thumb to have multiple ways of receiving alerts before you go to bed Friday night, just in case something is issued for your area. You can wake up and seek shelter if needed. But we are going into storm alert weather mode Friday night into Saturday morning. But after the storms clear Saturday morning, it's going to be a nice weekend, Latrice, with some sunshine.
Okay, thank you so much, Clay.